afternoon all. This is week 8 sensor and actuator problem solving session. I'm ARPITA Biswas, a PhD scholar in electrical engineering department from IT Jodhpur. So we are going to start our session. Let's wait for 2-3 minutes, then we will start the session. start the session. This is week 8 problem solving session of sensor and actuator course. So this is about me. I'm ARPITA BISWAS. I'm a student of PhD in Electrical Engineering Department from IIT Jodhpur, and this is my educational background that I did my MTech in Micro Nano Electronics from IIT Jabalpur. I did my BTech from Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology in Electronics and Communication Engineering, and this is more details about me. So this regular class schedule is every Tuesday 7 to 9 p.m. So here we can discuss about some of your doubts and some of the question. So let's start the session. So here mainly basically we are going to discuss about some of the question which is already discussed in the lecture video. So let's start. So this is question 1. Which primer is discussed in the video lecture to improve the adhesion of the photoresist with the substrate? So the first option is HMDS, hexamethyl disalinase. The second option is the acetone, and the third option is isopropyl alcohol. So at first take your time and go through the question carefully and then try to give the answer. And please unmute yourself and at least try.
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am.
I'm not audible.
Now okay, ma'am.
Okay. So have you gone through the question that which primer is discussed in video lecture to improve the adhesion of photoresist with substrate? First option is HMDS, second option is acetone, and third option is isopropyl alcohol. There is no hurry. You take your time and go through the question carefully and then try to give the answer. So which primer is used to improve the adhesion of the photoresist? Banala Sindhu. What is the right answer? Dipti? Please unmute yourself and try to give
HDMS, ma'am.
Okay. Dipti, what is the right answer?
HMDS, I guess, ma'am.
Yes, the right option is HMDS. So HMDS is the primer which is used to improve the adhesion of the photoresist. So we are moving towards the question number 2. What is the purpose of performing dehydration bake? The first option is to remove sodium ion contamination generated by touching wafer with bare hand. The second option is to speed up the photoresist coating. The third option is to remove the moisture after wafer cleaning process, and the fourth option is to replace the soft bake and hard bake. So go through the question carefully. What is the purpose of performing dehydration bake? So take your time and then try to get the answer.
To remove moisture after the water cleaning process.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. To remove moisture after water cleaning process.
Okay. So the right option is third option, to remove the moisture after wafer cleaning process. Next, we are moving to the question number 3. Regarding photolithography video lecture, evaluate the following statement. SU8 is positive photoresist. So it is true or false?
False, ma'am. SU8 is negative.
Okay. What about others? Dipti?
False, ma'am.
Okay. Meghna? Have you remember the photolithography step of SO8 and positive or negative photoresist? Anyone can explain? So it will also polish, na? So the what is the photolithography step for SO8 and for positive or negative photolithography? Anyone can remember the process? What is the main difference? So we can cover up the photolithography portion also. Banala Sindhu, what is the main difference? What is the main difference between the SU8 photolithography process and for positive or negative photoresist process?
Ma'am, in SU8 for photolithography, hot bake and soft bake are occurred in different temperature when compared to photolithography, and the time depends on thickness, ma'am, in SU8. But in photolithography, it takes the time only 1 minute.
And what about the temperature for SU8? The hard bake and soft bake temperature?
Soft bake 65 degrees, ma'am.
Yes. And hard bake?
I think 90 degrees.
Yes, 90 degree. And after the development process, what is the after development? What is the process for SU8?
Ma'am,
What is the process name after development of the SU8? Am I audible? Hello? Hello? Banala Sindhu?
ma'am.
Yes. What is the after development process? Like after develop the SU8, which process we have to follow? Because for SU8 we have done the soft bake and hard bake
Again,
process.
harden, ma'am. We harden at 125 degrees.
Yes, yes.
Pure
We heard
development.
our sample 125 degrees centigrade.
Yes, ma'am. 125 degrees.
Okay. So we are moving towards the question number 4. Regarding the photolithography video lecture, evaluate the following statement. For negative photoresist, UV exposed region on wafer will become stronger. So it is true or false? If you can explain what is negative photoresist and positive photoresist, the difference between it, then this is the actually simplest question. So anyone, what is which one negative photoresist or positive photoresist? What happen if we use negative photoresist or positive photoresist? Take your time and then try to give the answer.
Ma'am, true, ma'am.
So what about positive photoresist?
Positive photoresist, the area which is exposed will become weaker, ma'am.
Okay. And Dipti, what is the right answer? Is there Dipti? Okay, no. Okay. So next we are moving toward question number 5. So there are several types of photomask defects observed. So what type of defect is shown in the figure given below? So there is a given photo mask. So there is a defect. So the first option is chrome spot, second option is pinhole, third option is chrome gap, and the fourth option is clear break. So at first carefully observe the structure and then try to give the answer. What type of defect of the photo mask? And there is no hurry, you take your time and then try to give the answer and carefully observe the structure. There is a defect in the photo mask. So what type of defect is it? Chrome spot, pinhole, chrome gap, or clear break? So what type of defect it is? Carefully observe the structure. There is a photo mask and there is a defect in the photo mask. So what type of defect is this?
Ma'am, I think pinhole, ma'am.
Yes, the right option is pinhole. Here you can see now there is a hole in the structure, so it is called pinhole. Good. So we are moving toward the question number 6. Spin coated photoresist thickness is independent of, the first option is spin coater rotation speed, spin coating time, viscosity of photoresist and coated primer. So go through the question carefully, take your time and then try to give the answer. Spin coated photoresist thickness is independent of spin coater rotation speed, spin coating time, viscosity of photoresist or coated primer.
Viscosity of photoresist, ma'am.
No, actually viscosity of photoresist not. So coated primer is the right option because we coated the primer for improve the adhesion na. So it only the primer is only used to improve the adhesion, but it does not depends on the primer. The thickness of the photoresist does not depends on the primer. So right option is the fourth option, coated primer. If the viscosity is larger or small, lesser, then it also have impact on the thickness of the photoresist. So the right option is coated primer. So primer is only used to improve the adhesion of the photoresist, and it does not depends on the photoresist thickness does not depends on the coated primer. So next we are moving toward question number 7. Which are the two basic states of shape memory alloy explained in the video lecture? So first option is austenite phase and the marstenite stick phase, and the second option is austenite phase and the soft bake, and the last option is soft bake and martensitic phase. So what is the right option? And it is already discussed in the lecture video. Take your time and try to give the answer. Which are the two basic states of shape memory alloy explained in the lecture video?
Ma'am, third option, ma'am.
Mm, by third option, actually the phase is discussed here na, basic state of shape memory alloy. So soft bake is not the part of this shape memory alloy. Okay,
First option, ma'am.
yes, first option is the right option. Yes. So next we are moving toward the question number 8. Why SMA shape memory alloy are called are smart memory alloys? The first option is SMA regains its resistance when exposed to heat. SMA regain its electrical.
Fourth option, ma'am.
Yes.
Fourth option also.
Yes. The right option is fourth option. SMA regains its shape when heated. Okay. Next we are moving towards question number 9. Which alloy was used in lab experiment for shape memory alloy? HMDS, nitinol, nichrome or olnico? Which alloy was?
Second option, ma'am.
Yes, nitinol. Next we are moving towards question number 10. Which of the following chemical is not used during the deparaffinizing of tissue? First option is xylene, second option is ethanol, third option is distilled water, or the fourth option is isopropanol. which of the following chemical is not using during the deparaffinizing of tissues? Xylene, ethanol, distilled water, or isopropanol?
Third option, ma'am.
No, actually distilled water also used. DI water is used now. So distilled water also used for deparaffinizing the tissue. Isopropanol is not used. Xylene, ethanol, and distilled water, these three are used for deparaffinizing. So only isopropanol is not used for deparaffinizing of the tissue. Okay. Next we are moving toward the question number 11. So here some development process is shown. So what is the name of this type of structure? So what type of development process is going on? The first structure and the second structure, third and fourth. So can you guess what type of development process is going? At first observe the structure carefully and then try to give the answer. What type of shape, like which one is overcut, which one is undercut development, which one is actual or normal development process. After which type of development process we are getting this type of structure. Which one is incomplete. Take your time and then try to give the answer. Name of the development process. Which type of development process? First figure we are getting the complete development process or incomplete or undercut development process or overcut development process. Undercut means it means we are not getting that type of shape we want. Overcut means it excessively we are the PR is removed, so the portion we want it is become larger. And undercut means whatever structure we want to age or develop now of the photoregist, so we are not getting the desired thickness or desired length, and also this length is lesser. And incomplete means the photoregist is not totally removed, or some portion of the photoregist is on the substrate. What we want in the development process, we want the photoregist after UV expose, when we go for the development process, in that time we want that Now, if it is positive photoresist, then the exposed portion become weaker and it will gone when we go for the development process. So some portion of the photoresist is, if it is in the substrate, on the substrate, in that time it is called incomplete development process. And if we are getting the structure whatever we want, the proper shape, that the photoresist is gone. For positive photoresist, the UV exposed portion is gone, and for the negative photoresist, the covered portion is gone. And for undercut, some the length is lesser. Whatever our desired length we required, it is lesser. It means some portion is present from the both sides. Some portion of the photoresist is present, so length is lesser. So it is called undercut development process. And whenever the length is larger, so some extra portion is also gone. Extra portion of photoresist is also gone. In that time it is called overcut or overcut development process. So now can you tell which one is incomplete development process, which one is incomplete, which one is undercut, and which one is overcut development process?
Ma'am, incomplete, I think second option, ma'am.
Yes, second option is incomplete because some portion of the photoresist is
left.
remain in the on the substrate. And the second one and the third one is,
Fourth one, over, ma'am.
yes, fourth one is over because some portion of the photoresist also removed. And the third one and first one?
First one complete, ma'am.
Yes, and third one?
Ma'am,
Third one is undercut. Okay.
oh, yes, ma'am.
The desired length is is lesser, so that's why it is undercut development process. Next we are moving toward question number 12. So there are name of the photo mask defect. So there are some mask design is present and some also defect also present. First, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So there are 6 type of photo mask defect is present. So take your time, there is no hurry, and then try to find which type of defect is present in all this type of photo mask. You can see here there are different type of defects is present. First one is also different, second one is different, third one is also different type of defects are present. So take your time and also carefully observe the structure, then try to find which type of defect is it. It is. And the shadow type portion is made by chrome. This is chrome mask. That's meant the mask is made by the chrome. Now try to find which type of defect it is.
Ma'am, third option pinhole, ma'am.
Third option
Last
is
option,
third option or fourth option is pinhole.
third ma'am. Fourth option.
Yes, fourth option is
Sorry,
pinhole.
fourth option. Downside.
Okay.
Last one, clear break, ma'am.
Okay, clear break. And what about others? Means first one, second one, third one, and the fifth one. Take your time and then try to give the answer.
First one, chrome gap, ma'am. I think.
First one is chrome spot. Here you can see na a spot is there, so it is called chrome
Yes,
spot.
ma'am.
The second one,
Ma'am, downside middle one, chrome gap, ma'am.
no, not chrome gap, chrome extension. Second one is chrome extension. Here you can see na some extended portion of the chrome is there na below. So second one is called chrome extension. First one is chrome spot. Second one
Ma'am,
is
that's not, ma'am. Downside. Fifth one, ma'am. Chrome gap.
no, it is not chrome gap. This is called clear extension.
Ma'am,
Clear extension. It's mean clear portion is there na. So some clear portion is in between this chrome. So it is called clear extension. In the second figure here you can see the chrome extension. So the fifth figure here you can see the clear extension. Okay, which you have told now the chrome gap. So it is called clear extension. This means the extension of the clear portion. In the second figure, this is the chrome extension. Is it clear?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what about the third one?
Ma'am, that's also one type of chrome extension, ma'am. Third one.
Third one is breezing, na? Breeze type of shape is there. So this is called chrome breeze. Okay. Chrome breezing. So first one is chrome spot. Second one is chrome extension. Third one is chrome breezing. Fourth one is pinhole. Fifth one is clear extension, and the last one is clear break. So is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next question is, SMA actuator are used in robotic arms. So is it true or false? Smart memory alloy actuators are used in robotic arms. So is it true or false? And this is also discussed in the lecture video. Take your time and then try to give the answer.
True, ma'am.
Yes, true. Good. Next we are moving towards the question number 14. For gold deposition, which process we will follow? Thermal evaporation, sputtering, E-beam or CVD? So multiple option can be right. So what is the right option? Here we can also discuss about the deposition process. So we can recap our previous session also. So what type of deposition process is present? Bananas.
Thermal and E-beam, ma'am.
And what about sputtering? So by using sputtering, can we deposit gold? Banana Sindhu.
Ma'am, no idea, ma'am.
By sputtering we can deposit the gold. Okay. So here the right option is the thermal evaporation, sputtering and E-beam evaporation. All the three are the right option. Okay. So the next question is, there are often referred to as smart memory alloy, as well as they can remember their dash from memory based on the dash. So please try to fill in the blanks. They are often referred to as a smart memory alloy, as well as they can remember their dash from memory based on the dash. So what happened in a smart memory alloy? So in a smart memory alloy, they are often referred to as a smart memory alloy, as well as they can remember their shape from memory based on the heated temperature. So the right option is shape from the memory based on the heated temperature. So when we give the temperature or when we give the heat, then it can remember their original shape. So next we are moving towards question number 16. For positive photoresist, UV exposed region on the wafer will become stronger. So what is the right option? Is it true or false? what happened for the photoresist? When we deposit the positive photoresist on the substrate, and when you go for the UV expose, and when you go for after UV expose, you go for the development process, what happen if we use the positive photoresist, then the covered area becomes stronger and the exposed area become weaker. So the when we go for the development process, then the covered area will remain on the substrate, but the exposed area is solving become solvent on the solution. So, and what happened for the negative photoresist? For negative photoresist, when we after the UV expose, when we go for the development process, in that time the covered area is become weaker and it is soluble in the solution, development solution, but the exposed portion became more stronger. So here what is the question? For positive photoresist, UV exposed region, one wafer become stronger. No. For negative photoresist, the UV exposed region on the wafer will become stronger when it is in developing solution. But for positive photoresist, the UV exposed region on the wafer will become weaker. So this question is false. Next we are moving towards the question number 17. So what is the question? To improve the gold, which is 195 nanometer adhesion, we deposit. First option is 25 nanometer of chrome. The second option is 35 nanometer of chrome. Third option is 25 nanometer of aluminium. And the fourth option is 35 nanometer of nickel. So what is the right answer? improve the gold, 195 nanometer adhesion we will deposit. So why we deposit any other material when we go for the gold deposition? So gold adhesion is not that much good, that's why we deposit chromium before deposition the gold deposition. So for the 195 nanometer we use 25 nanometer of chromium. So to improve the gold adhesion we use chromium, and for 195 nanometer of gold deposition, at first we deposit 25 nanometer of chromium, then we deposit 195 nanometer of gold. Next we are moving toward the question number 18. In case of micro heater, if we increase the thickness of deposited layer of the metal, then resistance will, the first option is higher, the second option is the constant, third option is it will increasing, or the fourth option is it will decreasing. So go through the question carefully. But it is saying in case of micro heater. So when we go for the make the structure of the micro heater, if we increase the thickness of the deposited layer of the metal, the resistance will higher, constant, or increasing or decreasing. So go through the question carefully and take your time and then try to give the answer. So what happened? If we increase the thickness of the micro heater, then the cross-sectional area also increases. And the formula is the resistance R equal to rho L by A. So if the thickness is increases, then the cross-sectional area of the layer is also increases. So the resistance will decreasing. So the right option is decreasing. So in case of micro heater, if we increase the thickness of the deposited layer of the metal, the resistance will decreasing. Next we are moving toward the question number 19. If you are making a micro heater, it is good to have thinner deposited metal layer. So is it true or false? If you are making a micro heater, it is good to have a thinner deposited metal layer. So go through the question carefully and then try to give the answer. So the right option is true. If you are making a micro heater, it is good to have a thinner deposited metal layer. If it is thinner deposited metal layer, in that time the thickness of the deposited metal layer is less, so the cross section area is also smaller. So the according to the formula R equal to rho by L, the resistance is will decreasing in nature if the cross section area is increasing. So the micro heater will so the required voltage also lesser for making the micro heater. So the right option is true. Is it good to have? It is good to have the thinner deposited metal layer. The next question is the question number 20. If you are making a ID pattern, now coming to the after we've already gone through the lecture that after the micro heater we deposited a thinner oxide layer, then we go for the ID pattern because both are metal, so we need an oxide layer. So when we go for the ID pattern, making the ID pattern, it is good to have the thinner deposited metal layer. It is good, the thinner deposited metal layer is good for the micro heater, but it is good for the ID pattern also or not. So the right option is true or false. If we are making the ID pattern, then what happen? If it is good to have the thinner deposited metal layer, or it is good to have the thicker deposited metal layer. So what is the right answer? If you are making the ID pattern, it is good to have the thinner deposited metal layer. So in ID pattern, it is good to have a thicker deposited metal layer. So if the thickness of the metal layer is larger, or it is big, it is thinner, it is good for the ID pattern. So we are getting the more response. If we are getting the more response, or it is good to have the thicker deposited metal layer. But it is the thinner deposited metal layer, it is good for the previous case, which is the micro heater. But for ID pattern, we have to deposit it the thicker deposition layer. So the right option is false. Next we are moving toward the question number 21. Why we use e-beam lithography? So there are another type of lithography process like optical lithography, where we have seen that the contact printing, the proximity printing technique, and also the projection printing technique. And what happened in the contact printing lithography? There the contact between the contact between the mask and the device structure or the photoresist. When you go for the expose, then there is a contact between the mask and the photoresist. This type of lithography is called the contact printing photolithography. And next type is proximity. So in the contact printing photolithography technique, if there is a contact between the mask and the photoresist, so if we use again and again, then there is a possibility of the defects. The possibility of the defects is present. So some defects can present in the photoresist or the device. That's why, or the mask. That's why if we can go for the lithography process, the proximity lithography process, there is a small gap between the photoresist and the mask. So this is called proximity. And another type of the photolithography, optical photolithography, is the projection, where the in between the mask and the photoresist there is a laser is present. The lens is present. So what is the utility of this lens? So it can minimize the feature size. So we can also, the feature size can be smaller in the projection photolithography technique. So there are the another photolithography technique is e-beam lithography. Now the question is, why we use the e-beam lithography technique instead of the optical photolithography technique? So take your time and try to give the answer. why we use the e-beam lithography process? Because in optical lithography process there is some limitation, like the feature size. In optical lithography process the minimum feature size is 2 to 3 micrometer, so we can go beyond that because the inherent characteristic of the light. Okay, so then if we want the minimum feature size less than 2 or 3 micrometer, in that time we go for the e-beam lithography. Next we are moving toward the question number 22. So is it true or false? It is possible to fabricate a device using a combination of optical and e-beam lithography. So is it true or false? E-beam lithography is used when you want to go beyond 2 to 3. The minimum feature size is less than 2 to 3 micrometer, and for optical lithography where we want to use the minimum feature size is 2 to 3 micrometer. So the right option is true, because when we go for that type of a structure, that we need the minimum feature size is greater than the 2 micrometer or 3 micrometer. In that time, in this structure we use that the optical lithography, but in the same structure in some portion and we want the feature size is less than 2 micrometer, so in the same device we can use the e-beam lithography also. So it depends upon the structure, the feature size. So it is possible to fabricate a device using a combination of optical and e-beam lithography both. So the right option is true. So next we are moving toward the question number 23, that before kept or stored the tissue in a tissue bank, which process should be done? It means when the tissue is taken from the body, then after that it kept on or stored the tissue in the tissue bank, which the process then before that some process is done. So what is the name of this process? before kept or stored the tissue in the tissue bank, the tissue should be paraffinized, then it stored in the tissue bank. So the process is called the paraffinized. Next we are moving toward the question number 24. So the pathologist who works on oncology, that means the pathologist expert in dash. So which the pathology expert in which disease, that is called the oncology. So try to solve the answer. The pathologist who work on oncology, that means the pathologist expert in So the right option is cancer. The pathologist who work on oncology, that means the pathologist expert in cancer. Next we are moving to the question number 25. In core biopsy, the needle diameter is, the first option is 2 mm, the second option is 3 mm, the third option is 5 mm, and the fourth option is 7 mm. So try to give the answer and go through the question carefully. In core biopsy, the needle diameter is 2 mm or 3 mm, 5 mm or 7 mm. Please go through the question carefully and try to give the answer. So in core biopsy, the needle diameter is 3 mm. Next we are moving towards the question number 26. Which of the following chemicals is used to freeze the cell in their structure? First option is formalin, second option is ethanol, the third option is distilled water, and the fourth option is isopropanol. So which of the following chemical is used to freeze the cell in their structure? So the right option is formalin. So formalin is a chemical which is used to freeze the cell in their structure. Next we are moving toward the question number 27. Which of the following chemical is used to improve the paraffin from the tissue or the wax from the tissue? The first option is the xylene, second option is the ethanol, the third option is the distilled water, and the fourth option is the isopropanol. So go through the question carefully. Which of the following chemical is used to remove the paraffin from the tissue or the wax from the tissue? The first option is the xylene, the second option is the ethanol, and the third option is the distilled water, and the fourth option is the isopropanol. So go through the question carefully and then try to give the answer. Which of the following chemical is used to remove the paraffin from the tissue or wax from the tissue? The first option is xylene, the second option is ethanol, the third option is distilled water, and the fourth option is isopropanol. So the right option is the xylene. Xylene is used to remove the paraffin from the tissue or the wax from the tissue. So next we are moving toward question number 28. The process in which the wax violently removed or in a very abrasive manner from the tissue is called. The first option is vortexing, the second option is vertexing, and the third option is the centrifugation. So go through the question carefully. The process in which the wax violently removed or in very abrasive manner from the tissue is called vortexing, vertexing, or the centrifugation. So what is the right answer? The process in which the wax violently removed or in a very abrasive manner from the tissue is called. So the right option is vortexing. So the process in which the wax violently removed or in a very abrasive manner from the tissue is called vortexing. The first option is the right option. The next question is, if FPE stands for formalin fixed paraffin embedded, formaldehyde fixed paraffin embedded, or all of the above or none of the above. So what is the right answer? If FPE stands for formalin fixed paraffin embedded, formaldehyde fixed paraffin embedded, or all of the above or none of the above. So the right option is the first option. FFPE stands for formalin fixed paraffin embedded. Next we are moving toward the question number 30. So it is the last question our today's session. So which of the following chemical is used to remove the paraffin fixing? Formalin fixing. Which of the following chemical is used to remove the formalin fixing? The first option is the xylene. The second option is the ethanol. The third option is the distilled water, and the last option is the isopropanol. So which of the following chemical is used to remove the formalin fixing? This is the last step that we have to fix the we have to remove the formalin fixing. So we have to go through some process, and then we used some chemical for this formalin remove the formalin fixing, and I think there are 4 steps and we used some chemical for this process. So what is the chemical name? First option is the xylene, the second option is the ethanol, and the third option is the distilled water, and the fourth option is the isopropanol. So the right option is the ethanol. So ethanol chemical is used to remove the formalin fixing. So here we are ending our today's session. We'll meet again on next Tuesday 7 to 9 p.m. So you can leave here. So we are ending our session here.